What's up, everybody? Jimmy from Timeless Steel back with you. Brother Dustin, my brother, flew into town to help me get the Ecoboost build back on track. Say hi, Brother Dustin.
Hello, what's up?
But I don't ever get to work on my own stuff because I'm working on everybody else's stuff. But I've got to get it going now. Put my spectacles on. So we're getting ready to do body work, which I hate. But I figured I'd show you basic stuff that I have to get it done. So we've already prepped the tub, and I'm basically going to delete the firewall and get rid of a lot of DeLorean holes because I'm putting an Ecoboost in here and I don't need them. But some basic stuff you're going to need. This is a good little kit I found if you're messing around. West System Fiberglass boat repair kit. It comes with everything you need to do a whole bunch of small holes. And if you want to get serious about it, I did a total boat kit, and they sell these in several different hardeners. I went with the fast hardener because of the time that we have to get this done. This will cure basically in 10 minutes. It'll be tacky, and within an hour you can touch whatever, but this puts off a lot of heat and will burn you. A couple of mixing cups. The total boat system is super convenient because it gives you instructions with the hardener, and it's just a pump based system. So you put the pumps in. I think this is a 2-to-1, so 2 pumps of epoxy, 1 pump hardener, and you just keep doing that. If you need more of each, you don't have to worry about the ratio, whereas like kits like this, you gotta make sure you put the right amount on each time. The other thing we have here is some 3N Marine Premium Filler, and this is basically Bondo that's got fiberglass hairs in it. That will usually, it will seal up holes up to 1/4 inch, and it doesn't shrink, and it is, you can use it to fill in fine holes and stuff in the fiberglass after you've put patches in. Gloves, tape. Stole this from the wife, she doesn't know it yet. Parchment paper. There's a couple holes on this car that I'm filling that don't really have anything behind them, and so it's easier to make your patch on the paper and then transfer it to the hole. And I'm just going to use some Gorilla duct tape to put a little structure behind the hole to hold the patch, and then tack it in, and it'll be fine. When you're doing sanding or anything with fiberglass, you want to have a respirator. I got this one off Amazon. It's just a 3-in respirator. Get yourself a cheap orbital sander. This is from Harbor Freight. I've got 80 grit, 220 grit, and 2000 grit sitting here. A couple of drop cloths for when you get to the painting phase. Some gloves. These are just, I think I stole these from the wife too. But once we get to the painting phase at the end of this, I like the Bulldog adhesion promoter. It kind of helps paint stick to fiberglass better. And then everybody's go-to on DeLorean's SEM trim black. It matches the factory colors really well, and it looks awesome. So stay tuned. We're going to be building this car throughout the weekend, and by the time my brother leaves, the body will be back on the chassis. And one thing I forgot to mention, I also bought a giant roll of fiberglass mat because this is the cheapest way to buy it. But obviously I have enough fiberglass mat here to last the rest of my lifetime. Okay, so we've done a couple of steps here. We've put Gorilla tape behind all the holes we intend on filling. And we've beveled the edges on the holes that we're going to be using a large patch on. You can see here, you can use an air grinder or air sander for this, or a Dremel. Again, we're not pros. If you want to be a pro or you want a pro job, go to a boat guy. They're the best in fiberglass. But trying to keep this video somewhat short because it's the whole weekend, so we're just going to show you each step as we do it. Alright, I've already put about 6 squirts of Total Boat 2-to-1 resin, and I've got 3 squirts of the high performance fast hardener, which you got about 10 minutes of working time. And I've already cut the patches. Basically you start with 1 patch that's the size of the hole you're patching, and then you make subsequent patches just a little bit smaller. You start with the biggest patch at the bottom of the hole, and you work your way up to the top of the smallest patch. And you want to put resin on both sides of each piece. And then once you get your total patch together, you take it over to the car and stick it on. Good? This stuff also gets really hot because it's a fast hardener. So you have to be careful with it. You just want to dab the cloth. You want to get both sides of it. Okay. The thing that stinks about fast hardener is you've got about 10 minutes of working time. So you want to have yourself organized, have everything laid out so you're ready to go. We already wiped that hole down, bro. You don't gotta turn the music off, they can deal with it. I work with music. Turn it off?
Yeah.
Alright. And these real small holes, like we're learning too, this is a new skill for us, but these real small holes are a lot harder to work with. We've already discovered that a tighter weave, fiberglass weave, is the way to go on these small holes. If you try to use the bigger fiberglass mat that I ordered, it tends to pull apart real easy, especially when you're trying to cut these little tiny holes. So like I said, we're dabbing both sides of each individual piece, and then we're adding it to the patch. You can see when you get small, they become almost just real difficult to work with. Okay, so we've got our patch here, nice and tacked. Bro, if you want to grab the camera and follow me over to the hole that we're working on. Which one do we do? This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I've got the patch in my hand and I'm gonna apply a layer of epoxy around the hole. This stuff smells like just victory. Really good for you. Okay, so now I've got the whole epoxy. I'm gonna stick my patch in, which I can already tell is a little bit too small. And you can see that this is super thick on this firewall here, so we're gonna have to add quite a bit more to this patch to get it to be the thickness that we want. But for now, we've got a layer to build off of. Alright, you can kill it. Just click the top button once. No, the other top button. Alright, my brother and I just did our first ever hydraulic patch ever in our lives. Fiberglass. It looks pretty good. There's some low spots, there's some high spots. I'm glad we went with the fast dry hardener. It's, in this situation, a lot easier to work with. I think if we would have went with the slow dry, you'd have a hard time with the patch running on you. But this is gonna work. Once it cures, we'll knock it down with some 80 grit and then put the fiberglass filler in, and nobody will ever know the difference. We're gonna move on to this one. And we got this little guy over here. But this isn't overly difficult, but I'm glad that I have an extra set of hands. And you definitely need to make sure you're organized, and once you start putting the epoxy in the cup, you've got a limited amount of time to get it done. Light filter. Okay, well, we've got our 3 big patches in, and we got progressively better every time. That's the first one, that's the second one, and that third one is really pretty good. So there's no way around like not having to sand once this cures. But the voids are filled, and I think it's gonna turn out pretty good once we're done. But now we're moving on to the next step, and we'll update you when we get there. All right, we're moving on to our filler phase here. This is 3M boat
1.5 strip.
filler, 1.5 strip. That's probably good right there.
That shit stinks.
Yeah, Marine Premium filler. Yeah, probably not the best idea to use parchment paper. Yeah. Piece of cardboard or piece of plastic would be a lot easier. This was our test piece, so you guys are watching it live with us. Lesson: use something harder than parchment paper on a plastic table. Alright, well, that's probably enough for us to test it out there. Alright. Let me grab a... Here we go. Good old-fashioned piece of cardboard. All right. Yeah, that works much better, bro. If you want to grab the camera. Now, if you were a boat guy, you'd get cursed at for filling these small holes with just Bondo, but this is a car, and that's what we're gonna do. Because if you try to cut a fiberglass patch this small, you'll see what I'm talking about. Probably gonna have to do this twice, but you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's not desperate for times. Pretty exciting to be working on this car, man. My wife told me to stop saying man in these videos. I'm supposed to talk more professional, so.
Long time coming though.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I promised all you guys I'd have it done by April, so I gotta get it done so I don't lose the shop. Yeah, we're gonna have to let that flash and I'll put some more on it. All you guys out there who like body work, all the more power to you, because my brother and I would rather do math homework. I hate math. If you're good at body work, you're probably watching this video going, these guys are morons. But I'm all about learning a new skill on my own car. I mean, seems like drywall putty work to me, which I hate doing that too. But there's no way we're going to be done with this in one coat, but we'll at least get it so that we can work with it. You guys are probably really stoked to watch me work. But if you don't like it, I can just start making videos where I start out with a shot of it not done, and then I show you a shot of it done. It's your choice. There's gonna be a whole lot of sanding involved with this, but I'm still pretty excited to see all these holes disappear on this body. going with the Ecoboost motor. My setup uses 5 wires to run. I have no need for all these holes, and I love an engine compartment that's clean. Yeah, we're gonna have to let some of this flash and then come back, Dustin.
You got these ones?
Nope, I forgot about them. See, that's why. You're also the camera guy and the shop assistant slash make sure I don't screw it up guy.
Yeah.
This filler is actually working pretty well. It's got little fiberglass strands in it. It's meant for a boat. DeLorean's basically a boat. So I left this little hole right here for to be able to run the vacuum for turning the heater on.
Yep.
Just in case anybody's wondering why it's still there. And I decided that I'm probably going to keep the engine cover, but I'm probably going to have to modify the engine cover for my motor setup, just because of the way I want to do my intercooler. But that'll be a future episode. That's why these 2 holes are here. That's the mainstay for the engine cover. That's where it mounts. Bondo's starting to harden on me. The key to this whole thing I found so far today is to have all your stuff out, be organized, and have your brother in town to help you. Or an extra set of hands.
They're feeling them good though.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we can roll. The car's sitting on a body dolly that I made. My buddy Kyle kind of showed me a body dolly that he made for his car, and honestly, it's got Harbor Freight 5-inch heavy-duty wheels on it, and they're amazingly way stronger and easier to push around than the heavy-duty wheels I got from Lowe's. So if you want to build yourself a wooden dolly, I basically used 4-inch fence posts, built myself a square, and bolted some wheels to it. Some reinforcements here and there. Mine looks a little different than most guys because I had my body stuck on a scissor lift and I had to get creative getting it off of there. Now that I have a T-post lift, it'll be easy to put this body back on. Alright, this stuff's starting to get hard to work with, but I think we'll be able to at least get a layer everywhere and then come back. Making my hands sore. Need to like do some gym things.
Yeah, it's definitely hardening.
Yeah, I'll get at least a layer on and we'll have to come back. This last hole is going to be all she wrote on this batch, I think. Which is good because I got the first layer down everywhere. Perfect. I'll get out of the way, Dustin, so you can show some camera. You can see some awfully terrible fiberglass work was done to this at some point in its life. Hopefully my fiberglass work turns out better. All right, it's time for phase 2 of 3M Marine Premium Filler. Put my super awesome dishwashing gloves on. It's time to check your temperature. That stuff is hardened on my gloves. It's funny. So it's only been probably 30 minutes, and the stuff's already dry to the touch, so it's pretty awesome to work with when you're on a short time schedule like we are. Get yourself a golf ball size of this stuff. Probably won't even need that much this time, but I don't want to not have enough. Bro, can you get the lid on there?
Always use the right tool.
Getting debris in here. What I was saying. Trying to get this kneaded till it's a uniform color. It's a tan filler with a light blue or a dark blue hardener, so pretty much once it's uniformly light blue, it's ready to go. Trying to get all the bubbles out of it. Make sure that you're even and the activator's going in there. I think we're ready. Gotta make sure I get the debris off this thing. Alright, bro, you wanna grab the camera? All you gotta do is that red button right there. Just tap that once and it'll turn it off. And hold the light. There we go. One more click. There we go. Teaching my brother how to be a cameraman.
You can build engines, but can't work a camera.
Well, neither can I. The thinner the layer, the less sanding you have to do. I feel like I'm doing drywall work, and I hate doing drywall work.
Not a fan.
Yeah, I totally missed these holes the first time. I think I'm the third owner of my car technically. There's definitely some holes in this car that didn't come from me. But when I converted this car to Mega Squirt, I added a couple of holes, and you think, oh, well, I mean, I'm never gonna do anything different. So then you end up doing something different, like shoving an Ecoboost in the back of it. So be real careful about drilling holes in your car, because then you'll be here like me down the road fixing all of them. Stuff definitely is drying quicker this time, probably because it's a smaller batch.
Yeah. Seems more tacky.
Yeah, well, there's no way around sanding. We're going to be doing sanding. It's hard to get it to may have to do a third coat. I don't know, we'll see how it looks when it dries.
We're gonna have to go over the fiberglass parts too, right?
Yeah, but that stuff's not dry enough yet to do it. Somebody at some point in this car's life did some terrible fiberglass work right here specifically, and I'm going to fix it. This literally feels like I'm doing drywall work. I feel like if you can do drywall work, you can do this.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Where there's previous damage, it definitely makes it a little harder to fix. Miss anything? I missed this one right here.
Yeah.
There we go. Is there anything else I missed? There's a little spot right here. Oh, there's a spot right here. I missed a couple of spots.
They're so small, they're hard to see.
Yeah. Kind of hard to believe how many holes are in these cars. There's not that many extra ones that I've added here.
And too, you don't know what previous owners have done.
Yeah, really. I mean, but there was a stupid, like, remember those terrible alarms from the 80s and the 90s? There was like a loud horn over here when I got the car. This was a V8 turbo car, so it had some stuff on it. I added some rivets for Back to the Future props. I drilled a hole here for my Mega Squirt ECU. And this over here normally has a cover on it, but I'm deleting that. So there's a few extra holes on this car, but not that many. I think that's all of them. I'll have to let that tack and do one more coat before we final sand everything. All right, here we're on mud coat 3 now, and for the most part, most of the holes are good to go. I think we need one more coat. And we actually filled in some of the QAC fascia adjustment holes in the back. I found a little damage down here that we fixed. Our fiberglass patches are looking pretty good. They're tacky to the touch now. I can actually touch them and it doesn't depress the material at all. So probably another 2 hours on those and we'll be able to actually put some filler over top of them. And then this 3M boat filler is pretty awesome. Like, it's legitimately ready for a top coat or a second coat 30 minutes after you put it on, or we could sand it within 30 minutes just like it advertises. So far we've got about a half a day in this, and we'll keep you updated. I thought you guys would be interested to know that we counted 39 or 40 holes filled, and I can count maybe 4 or 5 of those were added by me. I would say 75% of them were factory. This thing's gonna look pretty awesome when they're all deleted. Well, I've already got yelled at by the wife for the house smelling, but let me show you what we're doing body work in right now. I don't know if you can tell, but it's snowing outside in Tennessee. It snowed a lot this winter. But we have destroyed the garage so far. But it's actually going pretty smooth and we're having a good time. What's up, guys? When I first got this car, it was a mouse home. Like everywhere in the car. Had mice turds, nests. And the only part of this car that I've never taken apart or restored is the front clip. And I just pulled the grill off, and look what I found behind the grill. And I bet you there's a lot of cars out there with this same thing. Nice little nest right there. But I have never looked in here, so you guys are looking with me for the first time. Yummy. My brother just got done sanding. Man, it's turning out awesome. Smooth. All these holes are gonna disappear pretty much once we put paint on it. The fiberglass, like, I'm super glad we used the quick hardener because the fiberglass patches still probably need another 2 hours of cure time before we can even put a layer of mud on them. But this thing's gonna be painted by the time we go to bed. And it's gonna look awesome. All right, well, we just got done with dinner. We let the fiberglass cure. I think we started the fiberglass patches at 11 this morning. So that rock hard now with that fast hardener. Now it's time to sand those down and start doing the body work on those. The rest of the car is pretty much done. It's just the areas we had to actually put thick patch in. So here we go. Here we're going to hit them spots with 80 grit. What? Nothing, go ahead. Still sticky? Yeah. Well, guess we're gonna have to let it dry a little longer. Dusty this garage has gotten. Pretty sure we're breathing in terrible things right now. All right, well, we've been going at this for about 8 hours now. Pretty much tag teaming it. I've been laying the mud and my brother's been sanding. Probably a little bit more filler than a pro body shop guy would have had to use, but man, it's smooth. It's gonna look good, I think. I'm super happy with this. Especially for, I mean, our first time doing fiberglass work. I didn't expect it to turn out this nice, so I'm super stoked. Next stop, we're gonna wash it, hang the plastic, clean everything up real nice, and then get ready to start painting. Man, she's looking pretty good. We're at the point where we're starting to clean it up. We're gonna get taped, and we're gonna be painting here real soon once this dust settles. All right, well, we've got everything masked up, taped up. My brother's wiping everything down right now with alcohol to get the surface clean. And we're about to start laying some paint. I think we're going on 8.5 hours so far into this bodywork. But pretty happy with how it's turned out so far. Hopefully the paint turns out good. Back. I don't know how I feel about this adhesive motor.
I don't know.
I'm gonna let this like super light coat tack. Stop sticking my butt. Yeah, I'm gonna let that tack for like 5 minutes before I put more paint on it.
Alright, first coat's done.
Alright, Brother Dustin's laying on the second coat. Brosif, as I like to call him. Live action. We're each alternating so that we can blame each other when it doesn't turn out good. Nah, it's gonna turn out good, I have faith. This SCM flat black paint is super easy to run, and you just gotta take your time with light coats. I think it's 3 to 5 minute flash time between coats. It says 3 medium coats, but second coat on?
Yeah. Second coat's on.
Alright, we've been alternating coats. I just got done with the third coat. Dustin's putting the fourth coat on now. It's looking pretty nice. I think it's gonna take probably one more coat after this. Looking good though. All right, that's 4 coats. I think one more coat's gonna do it. All right, how many hours have you been doing this? What, 10?
Yeah.
10, I think.
I think so.
All right, well, 5 coats and SCM trim black and 1 coat, a base coat of Bulldog adhesion promoter. And I think it's turned out pretty sweet. We've deleted over 40 holes in the back of this DeLorean. You can expect with my Ecoboost there will be a stainless plate here, stainless there, and I'm going to make a stainless cover for this. So all you'll see is 3 pieces of stainless, the Ecoboost engine, and completely shaved engine compartment. Now I did have a couple rivets that I had to leave for the Back to the Future stuff in the car. I left a spot for me to build around a vacuum line for the heater, and I did leave the 2 engine stand bolts, or engine stay cover stay bolts, whatever you call them. But I think it was well worth it. What do you think?
Looks awesome.
Well, this is proof that you don't have to be some body dudes to learn something new, so get off your couch and try it out. Never did fiberglass before? Never. And 10 hours and it turned out, it's not a pro job, but it's not a crap job either. And I probably saved myself, what, $1,000?
At least.
$2,000, but it's pretty exciting. We're gonna let this cure overnight, and Ecoboost body is going to be going back on the brand new Ecoboost chassis tomorrow. But brace yourselves if you do this at home, because my garage is trashed. But I don't know if I showed all the products in the beginning. Bulldog adhesion promoter, SCM trim black. This stuff goes on real thin at first, so your best bet is some light tacks. Once it tacks in, it goes on awesome. Did not end up using the West Systems kit at all, but I did like the fiberglass in it because it was a much tighter weave and easier to work with. So if you're buying fiberglass, try to get a nice tight high strand count weave fiberglass. This Total Boat was an awesome system. Like, after using it, I won't hesitate to buy Total Boat stuff in the future. Gorilla tape to support the back of the holes, a whole bunch of masking tape. I went through 1 whole can of SCM trim black and a whole bunch of 200 grit, 220 grit, 80 grit sandpaper, and some plastic sheeting. But really, 1 day of work with my brother's help here, 2 of us working at it all day. And really happy with how it turned out. And we did, for you DeLorean guys out there, we did delete the QAC center holes out of the back where the rear fascia goes on. I smoothed all that out because none of that stuff was left on my new fascia anyway. But anyways, Jimmy, Time with Steel, video 1, Dustin, signing off. We'll see you tomorrow.